Hey guys, welcome back to another Virgo Girl recommendation. Before I get started, I want to thank all of you who have subscribed to the channel. It is great to have you. Don't forget to comment, like, and share the video. At any rate, the show, of course, is Hightown. This show touches on a few different things. They talk about people with struggling with substance abuse problems. They talk about people who have relationship problems. They talk about people who are dating the wrong type of people. Women who are dating guys who aren't exactly on the up and up, bad boys, etc., etc., etc. I mean, you have dancers, you have, everything you can kind of think of, kind of like on the wild side, they kind of touch on it to a certain degree. Now, the star of the show, I really like her. This is my first time seeing her. Monica Raymund is her name, and she does such a fantastic job in this role. I really, really, really enjoy watching her every week. I shouldn't even say every week because I binge watched it, so it was like more like every day that I was watching many, many episodes. So I started off with season 1, and I got caught up. So I'm all caught up now. Of course, you know me. If you've watched this channel, I am a binge watcher. Once I find a show that I like, I do watch it and watch it and watch it until I'm done or until I'm caught up. So same with this show. This show has a lot of, I would say, action, suspense, where you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? It has a bit of that, but it also has some great storylines that kind of play out and where you see people dealing with very serious issues in their lives. And once again, another thing I noticed that they sprinkled in was how childhood trauma kind of led to a lot of people to be where they are as adults. I noticed it a lot lately in the shows. They do touch on that, which to me is very important. I love that because that does have a lot to do with how people end up being, in their adult life. How things played out in their childhood does impact their life, when they do become an adult. So I love that aspect that they kind of sprinkle that in there. I like the fact that they had relationships and just showed how not just relationships like a couple, but friendships, all types of relationships between parents and their children. I loved how they showed that the dynamics of how this all plays out depending upon what type of person you have in your life. So if you have a friend that is not a very good friend, it just kind of showed how that will in turn ruin your life, as opposed to if you have a friend that's loyal, etc., etc., what that can do for you and what that looks like played through no matter what. Even when you hit rock bottom, it shows you like, okay, who are your friends, who can you rely on, etc., etc. So I thought that was really awesome. This lady, the star of the show, she actually plays she's a fisheries service agent, a national marine fisheries service agent, which I don't know much about, but I think that's something they have a lot of probably over in Massachusetts and, places like that have the need for it. So, I look at it like she's some kind of marine police officer, some kind of marine officer, and she ends up going to work with the police as well, like trying to work with the local police because of some deaths happen, and she ends up wanting to be a part of helping to get these crimes solved. So it's really, really interesting. And also, she also plays a lesbian in this movie, and that is a big part of the show as well. They show her being, this kind of like lady killer. Like, she's able to get any woman she wants. That's how they have her role going. But at the same time, she's dealing with her own stuff, her own emotional stuff that she's not dealing with. So it leads to her not treating the most important lady in her life. She doesn't treat her very well. It kind of dives into that. It also dives into her, getting help, trying to get help and failing. It dives into her friends, some of her, like shadier friends that she has that kind of like take her down, kind of like kind of enables her to be the wild party chick that she is when she really shouldn't be, because she should be focused on more important things like being an officer, you know, following the rules, following the law, and things like that. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. I also love the guy. I think his name is Riley. Um, no, it's not. No, that's the other girl. Sorry, that's the other girl, Riley Vocal. She plays kind of like a. She's playing like kind of like an informant, but there's a twist because, you know, it's going to get sticky. That's all I'll say. I don't want to say too much on that because that'll totally ruin the show, which brings me to James Badge Dale, another great looking character. He plays a police officer. He plays, I believe he was a sergeant on the show, but he goes through some crazy times. I mean, it's crazy roller coaster. His ride is crazy. He is actually like, they have him like as some man that's just basically wants to give every woman, you know, kind of like a womanizer, if you will. And that's his role. But he's also very good at his job. But him being so reckless with women definitely, as you will see, is going to impact his job and, you know, just make him not be as good as his job as he could be, because he's kind of straying away from his responsibilities due to being so into the women, the ladies. Another character on here that I can speak on is the character that plays Frankie Alvarez. He is the big time dealer, and he ends up being a very polarizing character, but he, once again, very good looking. Very good looking man. I mean, I don't know what to say. That man, he just looks amazing. So anyway, it's kind of hard to, it's like he's playing this character that you want to hate, but he's so good to look at. It's crazy. But anyway, so he's on there, and his role is going to shock you as well. I mean, and it just goes on. I mean, I can just go on for days, you know, talking about this, but I don't want to make this video too long. The character Osito really surprised me. Great character. Atkins Esteman is his name. And in the show, he plays a character called Osito. I really like his character because they have you on the fence with him. Like, is he a bad person, or is he deep down not a bad person? Who is this guy? You know, because of course, so many things that he does, it's like, oh my God, this guy is horrible. But then it's like he'll do some things and you're like, oh, maybe he's not so bad. And that's how this movie is. It shows like a human element, because none of us are perfect, you know. Of course, most of us aren't doing the terrible things that a lot of these characters are doing, but it just kind of shows a human element where no one is perfect. Like, people have their good days and they have their bad days, but at the end of the day, they're just human and they're trying to do the best they can do for the most part. Not with all these characters, but just like for the most part. So you're going to see people fall down and you're going to be disappointed, like, oh my God, how could they do that? And then you'll see them come back and kind of redeem themselves, but not really, but just a little bit. So yeah, it kind of takes you on this roller coaster ride. It's set place like somewhere like in Massachusetts, like Cape Cod and, you know, areas like that. And it's interesting. It's a very, very good show. I highly recommend it. Check it out. It's great. So they're in season 2 right now, and you know, it's going strong. I have no reason to think that this won't be renewed. Season 2 is not done yet, but I feel like they'll get a season 3 unless they end it all here. I don't know, because it's still going on, but definitely this is a great show, and I definitely see it having longevity just on the storyline alone. I think they did a great job with the storyline. But I don't know. Let me guys know what you think if you do happen to watch this. Let me know if you think it was a great recommendation. And if you have seen Hightown, let me know what you think about it. I thought it was I think it's fabulous, and I'm all in. I will be watching the rest of season 2 and any other upcoming seasons that they have. I enjoyed this show. And again, they have a little something for everyone. They've kind of sprinkled in different aspects of how people live their lives in 2021. And I do feel like that it's modern. I think that this is a modern type show, so it's relatable in the here and now. And all I can say is just check it out. Also, I always say, if I feel like it's a show that kind of gets you right at the beginning, I do. I do feel like this is one that I watched the first episode and I was in. I was ready for the second episode. So this is one that got my attention right away. Great show. Highly recommend. Once again, the name is Hightown and you can catch it on Starz. Until next time, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and peace.